Hi there, I'm Lilith Starr, and I'm a member of TST Washington State.
And I'm Uruk Black, and I'm also a member of TST Washington.
And we're married to each other, and we're both bisexual. So I want to start out by saying Happy Pride, Hail Satan, Hail Pride. I'm really glad to get back to doing an in-person Pride, easing into it, and next year we're going to go all out as far as the in-person party. So I really, the first tenet of our seven tenets really resonates with me as far as pride is concerned. So I believe it's the height of compassion to accept someone and love someone as they are. And that includes whatever sexuality they are, whatever gender identity, whatever belief system, any of that. You know, you just got to accept them as they are if you want to be truly compassionate and empathetic and loving. And I mean, the heart of pride is usually expressed as, you know, love who you love. Love is at the center of pride. We are proud of our love, and we want to be out loud about whatever our love is, whatever our sexuality is. So I think pride is very much wrapped up in that first tenet. One should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason. So, hail Satan.
Nelson.
The second tenet is very much related to pride, at least as I see it. The second tenet is the struggle for justice is an ongoing and necessary pursuit that should prevail over laws and institutions. And when that first brick was thrown by a trans woman of color at the very first Pride, which was a riot, right, the Stonewall riot, you know,
Right.
yeah, riot. You know, that was the beginning of a fight for justice and justice for people that had a different sexuality or a different gender identity or whatever different from what the church deemed to be okay, right? So there's been laws for our entire Western history, you know, once Christianity took hold, really against people loving people, where it's really nobody's business what you do with your own love. And, you know, there's not even really support for anti-gay legislation in the Bible. There's one line that may or may not have been translated correctly. But certainly in today's so-called reasonable world, you really have to wonder, why do we have all these laws against people doing crimes that are just kissing someone they love or getting married to someone they love? And why is it anybody else's business? But unfortunately, we've seen more and more laws, especially under the rubric of religious freedom. So now in a lot of states, it's your religious freedom to not give emergency care to a person who's dying on the sidewalk because they're transgender and you don't think they're human, basically. Your religion states that they're not human and that they don't, you know, deserve your life-saving care, which it's your job to do, by the way. And we're seeing these laws all across America because of the rise in theocracy. And that's just ridiculous. And so those are laws that are patently unjust. And it is our job and it is our duty, especially as Satanists, to stand up and fight for that justice for transgender individuals, for queer, for gay, lesbian, non-binary, anybody that is being attacked by these laws and, you know, these so-called religious rights that somehow trump basic civil rights for human beings. So, it is our job to struggle for that justice, especially when we're the ones that have the privilege. Um, Uruk and I have a lot of passing privilege. We're both bisexual, but we're both married to somebody of the opposite sex. And there's going to be times where that privilege, we can actually use it to fight for those who can't pass. But really, these laws are hurting us all. And it's our duty to fight against them, even if they're law, they're not just. So let's go out and fight them. Hail Satan.
So,
The third tenet is absolutely essential to pride and to justice uh, for gay, queer, transgender, non-binary individuals. Um, our third tenet is one's body is inviolable, subject to one's own will alone. And why should it be otherwise? Like we shouldn't live in a society where other people get to make laws and decisions about our bodies. They should belong to us alone, and it is our decision what to do with those bodies. And this has often been used to fight for reproductive rights for people with uteruses, but also it really pertains to gay and transgender and queer and everybody on that spectrum that is out and fighting for justice at Pride and celebrating who we are and accepting who we are. And it's nobody's business but our own what we do with our bodies. Why should someone? Yeah, I mean, why did we not allow gay people to have the same rights as straight people as far as marriage until 2015? I mean, it seems like we're really behind and diving into the dark ages when it comes to things like this and to laws that tell us, oh, your body has to go to the restroom that, you know, matches your birth certificate instead of the gender that you actually are. Um, it's your body, it's your gender, it's nobody else's business. It's nobody's business who you fuck, who you kiss, who you marry, who you have kids with, who you adopt with. Any of that, that is your business and your business alone. And we should be fighting to make sure that we are the ones that have the rights over our own bodies. And I say more power to you, whoever you kiss or marry or fuck. So, hail Satan.
no, they
Thank you and happy Pride.